Hey Eric, wanna do a review of one of the new episodes?
Nah, I don't usually.
Oh, hello, Looney. Hi, Eric. Don't tell me anything, I know what the issue is. You are so unhappy with your place. That old turtle shell background is just... gone?
Yeah, we decided to change things up since you cameoed the last time. By the way, did you have fun marathoning the entire show?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Anyways, I am here to make your channel a home.
Yeah, I guess I could review an episode, but I think you should be a little less blatant with your advertising. Hello interwebs, I'm Eric and welcome to TheLooneyTurtle. Today we will be discussing episode 3 of My Little Pony Season 5. Since I don't usually do this type of thing, why don't you start us out today, AnY?
I usually do this kind of things in my top 5 yay and nay format.
Okay then, Looney, you should start us out.
So, the episode starts out with Twilight helping Fluttershy clean some animals and not really wanting to leave. In fact, we later see that she's been doing this a lot, taking time to hang out with all of the main 6 like real friends should.
Well, that was actually more cohesive than I expected. And he actually made a good point. The representation of the main 6 as a group of friends just hanging out with each other casually is pretty nice for a change. Usually there is always some kind of reason for them to hang out, like monsters to fight or trips to make.
Yeah, and it also somewhat gives us a glimpse into the lives of the main 6. Rarity, Fluttershy, and Applejack all have things that they need to attend to, while Rainbow has enough time to race Twilight for hours on end. Pinkie could stay up all night selecting pancakes, and Twilight can just hang out with all her friends the entire time. Guess the princess duties have just been piling up, haven't they?
It's good to be the king.
Isn't she a princess?
It was a joke, but AnY's...
Wait! You get a rim shot for that kind of joke? I usually only get a cricket sound or a wah wah wah.
Well, today I'm editing, so I take full control of that kind of thing. But getting back to the episode, we find out that Twilight has been deliberately trying to avoid the castle, even at night for some reason, because it's too big and empty.
I know already that some people will call this nitpicking. I personally prefer the term being an attentive viewer, but Twilight's recent uncomfortableness makes me wonder about the timeline events are happening in. Because in Rainbow Rocks, she looks rather comfy within the castle. Then again, the map wasn't there yet, so Rainbow Rocks must have happened before Cutie Map, mustn't it?
I would assume that the move happened sometime before Cutie Map. During this time, they could have easily moved the castle. Then, after getting everything situated, Twilight keeps re-evaluating what happened because the castle still appeared out of nowhere and has literally no purpose aside from storing books.
Fair enough. And it is not like I can't see Twilight's point. I mean, people had been pointing out how big, cold and empty it looked since our first glance into it during Twilight's Kingdom.
I'm still curious of its purpose though. I mean, it's Twilight's new library and home, but aside from that, there aren't any guards or secretaries, it's just Twilight sitting in a crystallized castle. Why did Twilight need to have a castle?
Would you be interested in signing this petition here?
Please don't tell me it's another one of those "Bring back the Golden Oak Library" petitions.
No worries, that would be so ridiculous. It's a bring back T-Rex petition so he can blow up the castle as well.
Oh, I'm not against the castle existing, but the writers can't just throw this element in and ignore the blaring issues with it. Why is what isn't being answered here? Why does Canterlot Castle exist? Because it's like the capital of Equestria. Why does the Crystal Empire have a castle? Because it's where the ruler of the Empire lives. Then we come to Twilight's castle. Why is it there? So Twilight can have a place to live and read books. Something she could easily pull off in one of the townhomes.
To give the writers this much, they attempted to address some of those issues with this episode. Somehow. And create solutions for it. At least in a symbolic way, but actually not really.
Since you brought it up, remodeling one room in the castle doesn't solve the issue that Twilight was having, does it?
Not really. And when she eventually returns and Spike remarks that nothing in the corridor had been changed, I was like, seriously? First, they have never even attempted to change the hallways. This castle is insanely big to begin with, and as far as we saw, the remaining 5 really only focused on the throne room. Second, what did Twilight expect them to get done in a single day?
I don't honestly know, but come to think of it, they did accomplish a lot in the time that they did have. I mean, they filled one room with curtains, a portrait, trophies, animals, and dirt. Really? Is dirt an appropriate thing to put indoors? I know that Applejack lives on a farm, but if she wouldn't do something in her own home, then why does she do it with a crystallized castle? I couldn't stop thinking about this through my entire first viewing because of how absurd it is, but then again, I suppose it helps further the point that the remodel wasn't going to work.
I have to say so, I'm actually glad that they cut those shenanigans short and addressed the mess they created right after the song, which, as Danu Ingame said, is one of the longest, most elaborate joke setups in the series. So after the punchline had been delivered, the conflict of the episode moves on from this far too predictable direction into a more interesting one. We don't have to sit through an entire episode of them figuring out that they screwed up, and instead they start fixing it even before the halfway mark. Good way to screw our expectations in a positive way. In addition, I also liked how the remaining 5 somehow figured out a way to actually provide some hominess to the castle.
But with all that said, Spike was a lot of fun to watch in this episode. Finding various ways to keep Twilight occupied caused him a lot of strain, eventually justifying his blow-up later in the episode.
They really seem to come around using Spike in a competent manner this season, don't they? When he is funny, he is not because he is a butt of the jokes, and when he gets teary-eyed, it is also not in the context of stupid misunderstandings like in Spike at Your Service. It happens in an honest moment of heartfelt sorrow. A moment that felt a bit shortcut, but a beautiful one nonetheless.
And come to think of it, the episode was pretty enjoyable considering its faults. If you don't think too deeply about it, this episode addressed the new castle very well. I would say it's one of the better episodes and it has a lot of rewatch value.
Yeah, I would also go with the verdict of enjoyable popcorn. So, wanna go over some memorable moments of the episode over on my channel?
Sure, but before we leave, let us know what you guys think in the comments below and we'll see you next time. So I've been told that I don't cater to my mobile viewers very well, so on the top right corner, there's a nice little information bubble thing. If you click that, that's YouTube cards. I've linked 2 different videos that are for this video, and I've also done this to my previous videos. So for now on, there you go. That's a feature in my videos. And I've also created a Patreon, so if you guys want to support me, then, link in the description. And I'll see you next time.